Hello Flosstube and welcome to my channel. This is Flosstube number 28. So as you all know, it's been a while since I last posted. In fact, it's been 3 weeks. I have no idea where that time has gone though. So I do hope that you are all keeping safe and well. Thank you ever so much for all your comments on my last video about my health issues. I'm very pleased to say that the iron tablets are working. My iron levels are improving and have improved significantly, so I'm really pleased about that. So thank you so much for all, like I say, all your kind wishes. And I've had lots of new subscribers since my last video, so welcome to everybody that is new to my channel. I would love to hear where you are from and how you heard about my channel, so please comment below so that I can learn more about you. I'd love to, like I said, I'd love to know where all of my subscribers are from. So yeah, hope you enjoy the ride of my cross-stitching journey, really. So as you know, I love to do monthly and weekly challenges with Enchanted Stitching Challenges, the Facebook group, and also Full Coverage Fanatics. And I'll be honest with you guys, I'm really behind in those challenges, especially like the yearly challenges with Full Coverage Fanatics. And where I've just been so busy and a bit poorly since the beginning of the year, I just threw all of that up in the air for March. I'm not doing any challenges in March because I saw something, I'm not really quite sure where it originated, but I saw something called March Madness, which I thought, oh, that's a good idea. I think I'll give that a go. So let me talk you through what March Madness is. So basically, this is my very quick hand-drawn chart. Hopefully you can see that. So basically, I've got my 8 projects down here. I don't know if you can see it properly because I've written it in pencil. 8 projects down here, which are all of my, there you go, Heaven and Earth designs. And I've literally got, so 2 days on each. So that takes me up to the 16th of March. So the 1st and 2nd of March, 3rd and 4th of March, 5th and 6th, and so on. Then from these two, however many stitches I do, the highest one goes in the next box here. And then out of these two, which is today and tomorrow, these ones will, the highest stitch count will go into this box, and then I'll stitch that, and then the highest one will go into that box, and then the highest one out of these two will go into that box. So basically it's I guess it's a game of the highest number of stitches. But that's my chart. Now normally I'd spend hours making a chart like this, but I just had to do it really quick, and actually guess what, it works the same. So like I said, I've got 8 Heaven and Earth designs, so that's where I got the 8 I guess projects at the start of this March Madness, and I've done them in order of how I started them. So at the moment I've just done 2, which I'll go on to when I show you what I've done. We've got a winner for the next heat, and that, yeah, so we'll just keep going with that really for March, and that's really all I'm doing. The only other project that I think I'll probably touch in March as well is my temperature tree by Stitching Mummy, because obviously I've done the branches for February and March. I just need to catch up on my leaves, so hopefully I'll be able to show you that on my next video. But let's have a look at what I have been working on since I last saw you, which includes my March Madness. So the first one is my Faces of Fairy 178 by Jasmine Beckett Griffith. And I've sort of changed the way in which I stitch this. Oh, I will pop a picture of where it was before. And here it is now. Let me just put that behind. See if that helps. No, not really. There we go. Coming along so nicely. I changed the way in which I stitched this one. I have taken this to diagonal stitching, and I love diagonal stitching because it just means every stitch in that row gets done. So basically it's a 20 row diagonal that I'm doing, and literally every stitch at a time. So whatever colour is in that row gets stitched, the whole row gets stitched. So that's why you can see a little bit of parking on there, but I'm really loving how this is turning out so far, and that's across that's the whole width of it as well. So that is stitched on 20 count 2 over 1 full cross, and I did 599 stitches, and I'm now at 10.93%, and that 599 stitches was actually 5 hours worth of work. So then my next project that I worked on, and I have to say I didn't work on this probably as much as I would have wanted to, was my Story Keep Life is an Open Book New York by Amy Stewart. As many of you know, I've done the Paris version. That one's completed. I completed that one last year, and this is the New York one, and this one again is stitched diagonally, but I'll pop a picture of where it was before. And with this one, boy am I glad I'm doing it diagonally, because this is where it's at now, and as you can see there is tons of confetti. And even with these park threads, this was like double this at one point. The amount of confetti, I think there was one row of 20 where there was a different like symbol or different colour for every stitch in that row. Yeah, really enjoying that one. But like I say, I'm glad I'm doing it diagonally, because to go back and do those sort of like what I call ninja stitches, to me would just be a bit of a nightmare. So yeah, really pleased at how this is coming out, and I'm getting a bit more of the Staten for Staten Island there. So yeah, can't wait to work on that a little bit more. And that one is stitched on 18 count 2 over 1. I've done 180 stitches, so 2 hours in the last 3 weeks, and I'm now at 4.13% on that one. So my next one, which I've sort of ended up being a bit of a focus piece, it ended up being a bit of a focus piece in February, and this is one of the first pieces that I started for my March Madness, and out of the two you can see that it's moved on to the next level, if you like, and this is my Mini Virus Detected by Randall Spangler. This is what it will look like, and I'll show you a picture of where it was before, and this is where it is now. So basically I've done more of the dragon, and this is the sort of the start of the underbit of this bit here, sorry, is the underbit of his mouth. So I'll be coming into doing the mask soon. This is the top bit of the computer. I've done more of the shelving and the books. So how awesome is that? And yeah, so this one is stitched on 20 count 2 over 1. I've done 1,741 stitches, which is 9 hours, and that is now 15.6%, so I've passed the 15% mark on this one. I just think it looks so cool. So yeah, that was, like I say, a bit of a focus piece, but I won't be stitching on that one now until the 17th and 18th of March. That's when that one will next get touched. And then the last piece that I touched was my Ornament Healing Rose by Carol Cavaleris, and this is honestly, how gorgeous are those colours, the way they just blend together. And what I love about this piece is that there are blocks of colour, so when I come to stitch on it I get to do blocks of colour. And as you know, I've used this for several challenges, this piece. I will just put a picture actually of where it was before. But like I said, I've used this one for several challenges, and a lot of them have called for stitch on a certain colour, do this amount of stitches in a certain colour. So that's why it's a little bit all over the place. But what I'm starting to do is work from the top down now. and this is where we're at. Hopefully you can see all of it. So I've done a lot of, I did a bit of pink down here and some of the browns, and starting, like I say, starting to fill in some of those gaps. But like I say, it's really good for doing blocks rather than lots of confetti. So yeah, looking forward to doing a bit more on that one. I probably won't be doing any more on that until April now though, because that one was between my mini virus detected and this rose one, and the mini virus detected, I did more stitches, which is why that one's moved to the next level. So this rose one probably, like I say, won't get touched now until April. And with this one, it's stitched on 18 count, 2/1. I did 4 hours on it, 799 stitches, and I'm now at 13% of the project. So my virus is the one that I've done the most on at 15%, and that's the next one at 13.08%. So yeah, really pleased at how it's coming out. I saw that there was a lady on Facebook who had done 2 of these at the same time. I just think that's awesome. How she did 2 at the same time, I don't know, but they looked awesome. So I can't wait to get more of that done. So that was all the projects that I worked on since I last saw you in the last 3 weeks. It's not much, and there was I'll be honest with you, I barely stitched in February. But already in March so far, I have stitched every single day. I'm back stitching every day. I love, back loving it. I'm not saying I didn't love it in February, but I don't know, I couldn't put my finger on why I didn't do much stitching in February. But like I say, back on it now, and yeah, really love seeing more progress on my projects as I go. So the other thing that I did this month is I love watching Flosstube whilst I stitch, and one of the Flosstubes that I love to watch is Needle Ninja. She does a lot of stitch with me's, and I have to say they're so therapeutic. So if you would love to watch a stitch with me, please go watch her videos. But she shared a video recently because some of the projects that she's doing, and one of them that she's doing, I'm now doing, World Travel Bookshelf by Amy Stewart, which is this one. Obviously, my design is 750 by 542 stitches. I'm doing mine on 20 count. The material was something like 46 inches or something by 30 something inches. So a really big piece of material, and I was struggling with how to manage such a big piece of material. And if you remember, my boyfriend had made me this really big frame, which was wonderful. And it worked. It really did work. But she showed how she folds her material and uses like ribbons to tie her material together. And I thought, oh, I'm going to give that a go. And then she showed how she uses it in an 11 by 11 Q-snap. I was like, you're never going to fit a project like that in an 11 by 11 Q-snap. Now, she's obviously doing hers on 25 count, and I do think, looking at hers, her material is a lot softer than mine. I'm doing mine on 20 count, and my material was quite stiff. So this is mine all ribboned up, ready to stitch. And again, I'm doing it in the diagonal. I haven't stitched on it in the last few weeks, but obviously I will get to stitch on it in March. But yeah, I just think, God, this is going to be so much easier to stitch with an 11 by 11 frame rather than my big 14 by 30 inch frame that I had on. So I can't wait to share how that goes. But basically, you tie one ribbon to your Q-snap, and then one coloured ribbon to your Q-snap to be like the bottom ribbon, and then you lay over your ribbon, and then you push your top pieces on, and that's where you get the top ribbon from, and then you just kind of gather your material and do a nice bow. I'll be honest though, it took 2 of us to hold the material and tie these bows. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how well I can stitch with that, with these ribbons holding my material. So I will keep you updated on that one. And then finally, I had a tiny little bit of haul from Lakeside Needlecraft here in the UK. One of our, I guess, main suppliers of floss, I guess, would be Lakeside Needlecraft. So yeah, all my floss here. Lakeside Needlecraft, whenever you order from them, you can collect like points and then you can redeem those off your next purchase. I'm collecting mine because I want to have enough to pay outright for floss for another Heaven and Earth design. But basically the floss in here, last year I started 2 Heaven and Earth designs sort of quite in a rushed way really. I started my mountain cabin and my Princess of the Sea Heaven and Earth design. Like I say, very quickly. I had most of the, well, I say most of the floss, I had some of the floss to get me started, but I didn't have all of it, and I've not ever filled up both boxes with the floss, so here it is. Also, I'm doing my Story Keep New York at the moment, but I am starting to kit up my Story Keep London version. Like I say, I've done the Paris one, I'm doing the New York one, so I'm starting to kit up the London one. So every time I order some floss, I order 10 more flosses for the London one, and then hopefully I will get that kitted up. I'm not looking to start it, just want to kit it up. I don't know when I plan to start it. I would like to get at least one finished first before I start another one, because I think 8 for me is more than enough. But who knows, never say never, and I might just suddenly get the urge if I have all the items there, but I'm hoping that I will get one finished before I start. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which one do you think I'll get finished first to make room for the London one? So guys, that's it for today. Hope you've enjoyed what you've seen so far. Like I say, I will be trying to get back to my filming schedule. So because obviously I'm filming at the end of the week and uploading at the end of the week, then it'll probably be towards the end of the week next week, just so that I can work towards getting back to my Tuesday weekly floss tubes, because I have missed filming for you guys, sharing everything that I'm doing. So can't wait to get back to weekly floss tube videos for you, and yeah, look forward to seeing you, seeing what you think of my projects and hearing how you're getting on with yours. So all that's left to say is, guys, take care, bye for now, and happy stitching.